Hello, my name is Anson Asaka. I'm the founder of New Possibilities. And today I'm going to talk about the controversy dealing with Russell Simmons. This morning I was on Twitter and I noticed that there was a lot of chatter about some tweet that Russell Simmons did. So I went on to Russell Simmons' page and I saw a link to a video about Harriet Tubman, a video about slavery. It was a very brief video. And this video was highly offensive. It was offensive because it made mockery of slavery. It turned one of the most horrific, terrible events in human history into a comedy sketch. It denigrated the name and memory of Harriet Tubman. And in this video, for those that haven't seen the video, it depicts Harriet Tubman basically as a hoe, a video hoe. It shows her engaged in lewd sexual acts with her white slave master. And it actually depicts her as enjoying these acts. And it depicts her joking about these acts. It shows her doing all kinds of ridiculous things in the video. It's clearly designed to make people laugh. It's clearly designed to make mockery of slavery. And when I saw this video, I was outraged. And I understood fully why everybody else was outraged. This video was wrong on two basic levels. First of all, it denigrated African American history and culture. It made fun of slavery. It trashed one of our heroes, Harriet Tubman. Here's a woman who was a slave, and she found her way to freedom. And when she was free, she didn't just enjoy her personal freedom. She risked life and limb. She risked her own safety, her own freedom in order to free her brothers and sisters from bondage, literal bondage, literal slavery, actual slavery. Over and over again, she went to save slaves from slavery, to free our brothers and sisters from bondage. And it is a disgrace that you would have this man make a mockery of her for kicks, for a joke. You don't see any other kinds of people making mockery of their own history. You don't see people, Jews for instance, joking about the Holocaust. You don't see Native Americans joking about the genocide that was perpetrated against them. We are the only ones who have no respect for our own history. We are the only ones that enjoy jokes about our history. That's because we have no knowledge of self. And it is a shame that an old man like Russell Simmons doesn't have sense enough to know that what he was doing by posting that video was offensive. And he actually owns a company that's profiting from this nonsense. I was outraged when I saw Django. And if you go to my channel, you'll see that I did a video talking about how Quentin Tarantino made a joke out of slavery. I'm even more outraged to see one of our own make mockery of slavery and denigrate this strong black hero, Harriet Tubman. We have to draw a line somewhere. We have to say enough is enough, like other groups do. We have to let these people know that there will be consequences for their actions. We have to let them know. We can't let or allow people to do these things and just get away with it. So that's the first aspect of how this video is offensive, just its mockery of African American culture and history. The second aspect is how it's so degrading of women. It degrades women because it basically objectifies this woman, this great black woman, Harriet Tubman. It basically celebrates rape culture. African Americans were raped by their slave masters. They were beaten by their slave masters. They didn't voluntarily enter any kind of sexual relations with their slave masters. Their slave masters forced themselves on black women. They degraded the black man and the black woman. They raped our women freely. And for a black man to make a joke about rape, that's insane to me. But see, none of this stuff is new. We have to understand what kind of man we're dealing with here. This is a man who's profited by promoting a culture of destruction in the black community. Not too long ago, there was a controversy about that rap artist, Rick Ross, putting out a song glorifying date rape. Not too long ago, there was controversy about Lil Wayne denigrating the memory of Emmett Till. And if you don't know who Emmett Till is at this late date, you're out of your mind. You're completely ignorant. But for those who don't know, let me remind you. Emmett Till was beaten to death, lynched. He was beaten beyond recognition. By the time they were finished beating him, he looked like a monster out of a horror movie. And after they committed this atrocity, no one was convicted. The killers walked free. And this little idiot, Lil Wayne, made mockery of that. And I'm not going to go into detail about it, but if you don't know, Google it. But he made mockery of that. So we live in an age where there is no respect for our history. There is no respect for our experience. And Russell Simmons, he is one of the people that have promoted the negativity that exists. I don't blame hip hop for the destruction of our communities. But I know for one thing, hip hop doesn't help. This modern form of hip hop doesn't help. And the company that he created, Def Jam, it has been one of the engines fueling the negativity that we see and that we hear. It is the companies like Def Jam that have celebrated destruction, celebrated murder and mayhem in the inner cities, celebrated the drug dealer and the pimp. It's companies like Def Jam that did that and they continue to do that. So I'm not surprised that somebody like Russell Simmons would say something or support something like that ridiculous Harriet Tubman video. There was a time when hip hop had meaning. There was a time when hip hop was a vehicle for consciousness. There was a time when the young people took off the gold medallions and put on the African medallions. They loved the motherland. There was a time when we celebrated our African culture in the music. There was a time when we celebrated our heroes like Malcolm X. There was a time when the X in Malcolm's name was everywhere. There was a time when everyone had the by any means necessary shirts with Malcolm X standing up strong and proud. Those times are gone now. Hip hop celebrates the drug dealer and the killer now. The Larry Hoovers and Big Meech, those are the people they celebrate now. They celebrate the gangs. They celebrate the destruction of the community. And not only that, they denigrate the black woman. They depict her as an object to be used and abused. And it's a shame. So I'm not surprised by Russell Simmons' statements. And it's a shame. I mean, he had the nerve to call Don Lemon a slave. And as I said in the other video, I had no respect for what Don Lemon said in his rant. And Don Lemon is, in a sense, a slave, a sellout, but so is Russell Simmons for the reasons that I previously pointed out. And selling out is nothing new in our community. There have been sellouts among us for a very long time. The first sellouts are the ones who sold their African brothers and sisters to the white man for a few fancy trinkets from the white man. They sold their brothers out for alcohol and weapons, for the trappings of life. They sold their brother out. And then when we were brought over here, when we were fighting for our freedom from slavery, that sellout was still amongst us. The sellout told the slave master about the plans. The sellout ratted on Gabriel Prosser. He ratted on Denmark Vesey. The sellout monitored the civil rights movement and snitched to the FBI on civil rights leaders. So the sellout is nothing new. And that's exactly what Russell Simmons is. He's a sellout. And that half-hearted apology that he issued, a 2-paragraph apology, is not enough. It's not enough.